Welcome to The Top Up, a series from the geniuses behind Top Year. On these special episodes, we'll be topping up everyone's knowledge on some of our favourite history-defining moments. We'll bring you a digestible dose of more specific topics from events, people, and everything in between. I'm Max.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Wilson.
I'm Will.
Ooh.
Whoops.
Our quest to create the ultimate year tick continues, but for now, let's kick off the Jim Henson Muppet experience.
Yes. Just add an applause sound effect in post.
Yeah, why do you guys not clap for me when I do the
Sorry.
intro?
That was a hard intro. That was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man.
Thank you, Will.
That earns some respect.
I appreciate that. It's good to have you here, Will.
Hey, pleasure to be here. And I was about to say the address again, which I did last time. I'm not going to say it again. Pleasure to be here in the Top Year studio. It's a second home for me now. You guys weren't here last time.
I know.
No.
And that was funny. Because what did you say? You were like...
I didn't tell them.
I said I'm only going to come on when you're not here. And now I'm
didn't
here.
last
I'm glad that's changed.
It's changed. I've had a change of heart. It's great. So thrilled to be back.
Do you want to tell us 3 things about yourself?
Oh my God.
That you didn't say last time.
That I didn't say last time. I don't know what I said last time. Okay, my favourite movie of all time is Speed Racer. 2008 by the Wachowski sisters. In Speed Racer, this is a fact I know, and it's about myself. The monkey in Speed Racer is played by a monkey named Will.
Uh-huh.
And Kenzie's the other monkey. But I'm not named Kenzie. But
I am,
I'm
so-
named,
We have a
see?
partial Kenzie.
Look at that. How about that? What else? I played AFL for 7 years of my life. And fencing for another 7.
That's
So I have
full
a-
facts. That's full facts. Hang on.
That's full, yeah, that's 4. But it was sort of like a split fact.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, like if you wanted me to kick a ball or use a sword, I could aptly do either of those things.
That's actually going to come up today.
Great.
Both of those.
Thank goodness. I knew it was for something, not just to appease my dad.
How are you guys feeling today?
Oh my goodness.
Into the mic.
Oh, sorry. I'm feeling muppeted up. No, actually, I'm feeling fuppeted up, if you will.
Bleep that. You got to bleep that.
I don't know if I will, Wilson. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I'm feeling hot because it is hot.
It's warm today.
Yeah.
It's warm. For those international viewers, of which I'm sure there are lots.
Hey, there's someone in
it's
Singapore, don't we?
okay. It's probably even hotter in Singapore. To be fair. So you know exactly what we're going through right now. It is hot. It is humid.
I'm feeling a little nostalgic
Yeah, me too.
based on some of the things I've been looking at, and I'm keen to share them with you boys.
Please,
Oh, yeah.
please.
Well, should we share our BuzzFeed quiz results?
Oh, yes, we should.
So no, I'm driving here. Wilson sends me like, do this quiz real quick, like 5 minutes to 2 p.m. And I'm like, okay, all right, sure, super easy. But I'll go whenever you want. I've done the quiz,
Well, the quiz was called, "Are you a Muppet of a man or a very manly Muppet?"
Oh, yeah.
which is of course a reference to, say it with me, 2010's The Muppets,
The Muppets
Man or
movie.
Muppet song. Yeah.
It won an Oscar.
Won an Oscar, rightly so.
Should we just jump to the end, I reckon?
Let's do it.
What are you guys?
I was a man.
I'm a Muppet.
Oh,
I was a Muppet too.
Oh my.
and I'm a man. A Muppet
Wow,
of
look
a
at that.
man.
Perfect split.
Muppet.
of
I'm
man
a very
and Muppet.
manly Muppet. That was
I'm
pretty
a
good.
very manly Muppet.
See, if I wasn't here, this would have been uneven.
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah,
tricky.
it would have been outnumbered.
It would have been 2 men and a
Had to get John to
Muppet. It would have been very strange, to say the least. I'm
been
glad
trouble.
we all did that.
Should we
it's-
dive
it's
in?
Good. Yeah, we probably should.
Let's just get into it.
Dive in head first. My section is on Muppets.
Should I have prepared something for this? You've got look at this. They've got laptops, and I'm just like, what am I supposed to bring?
At you with facts.
Okay, that's fine. I'll do that. Let's do that.
Or get a notepad out and you can...
Yeah, you can take
I'm not
that.
writing anything down.
There'll be a quiz at the end.
Okay, right. There'll be a BuzzFeed quiz at the end. Which Muppet are you? I thought it was which Muppet are you, and I was like, I'm a man. What? That's not a Muppet. That's a guy.
Speaking of men, we have a very important man, Jim Henson.
Is he here today?
Yeah.
Is he joining us? There's one spot on the couch. You could sit right there.
You'll be unmiked though for the episode.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Who was Jim Henson?
You tell me.
His middle name is Maury,
Oh.
and his actual name is James. So James Maury Henson, born 1936, was an American puppeteer, animator, actor, and filmmaker known best for his puppetry pioneering and the creation of the Muppets.
That's why we're here today.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Now, I'm not getting into the Muppets yet, but I'm going to start at the origin. It starts with Sam and Friends.
Have you seen Sam and Friends?
I'm just along for the ride. I don't know what's going on.
Sam and Friends was created by Jim Henson and his wife Jane, his
Yeah.
eventual wife, in 1955, which is a long time ago. Sam and Friends had 5 episodes. I mean, it had 5-minute length episodes. And it told the story of protagonist Sam and his friends like Chicken Liver, Icky Gunk, Omar, Yorick,
Icky Gunk. Can we just have a moment to shout out Icky Gunk?
We need to get
And
a photo of
Kermit.
Yorick. We need to show you what Yorick looks like.
I think I might have
Oh.
seen Yorick.
Yorick is
Oh,
a
allow
freak.
me.
What about Mushmelon? Have we?
Yeah, Mushmelon.
And-
I was about to pull out like a printed poster of like, that's Yorick. On like a
I left it
scroll,
at
like that's Yorick.
The original Kermit the Frog was made from Jim's mum's old coat.
It's made out of Jim's mum.
Yeah.
She's dead.
And a pair of Jim's old jeans, and it had ping pong balls for eyes.
Oh.
All right, I've actually bookmarked this page. This is the Sam and Friends page of this book that I brought.
That's great.
So that's Sam,
Oh, they even name Yorick. They give him a
and
little
there's
name
there's
tag.
Yorick.
Yeah, they're all freaks.
There's Mushmelon. Icky Gunk is this guy.
Icky Gunk.
like a
Man,
snake.
Yes.
that belongs in like the Lucasfilm universe. That's
That's like a.
So this
Star
is
Wars
Sam,
character.
and Sam is a bald-headed, big-eared human who escaped the harshness of everyday life with the help of his abstract friends that he created based on different parts of his life.
like Icky Gunk.
What's
you
fun-
hate it?
And Yorick, the man with the biggest nose ever.
Speaking of Yorick, because we love to talk about him, Yorick was a purple paper mache head who could eat anything and everything, and this appetite made him a precursor to other hungry monsters created by Jim Henson.
I know who you're talking about.
Who?
Elmo. Nah, it's got to be Cookie Monster.
Yep, the blue one.
The blue one.
There's multiple little
Yeah, that'll come up in a
marks
sec.
in there.
Ooh.
So now this little section is Muppets Incorporated. During Sam and Friends' first and only season, which was 86 episodes, by the way,
With a minute long each as well.
5
5 minutes long.
Yeah.
That's like all of Succession. That's like all of it.
Muppets Inc. was founded in 1958. It's now known as the Jim Henson Company, but the Muppets name is a combination of the word puppet and marionette, of course.
Of course.
I thought it was
yes.
monster, but
Of course.
I knew that.
in 1963, Frank Oz, who was 19, joined Muppets Inc., and he was pivotal in the company. He was later voicing and puppeteering iconic characters like Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, and Animal. Yes, and now we all know that Kermit is the face of the Muppets, and he's even on this book,
Wow.
but he wasn't always.
Oh.
It's like a video essay.
I'm going to go into the
It's like a
unsung
defunct
hero.
land video essay right now. It's getting...
This guy, Rolf.
Oh, my favorite! Yes!
I've got a big 2-pager here, but Rolf is probably one of the most important characters in the Muppet history. He's the first Muppet to reach popularity across all of America. Originally performed by Jim, Rolf is a dog who is laid back and wisecracking with deadpan humor and an impressive musical ability. Rolf was the first Muppet created by Don Sarlin, who was a primary puppet designer and innovator for the Muppets since 1962. And different to other puppets at the time, Rolf was a hand puppet and wasn't operated using rods.
I like how in this book there's a section of his
Yeah.
psychological
I was about
profile.
to mention
Yes.
I think Rolf may actually be my hero.
We can psychoanalyze Rolf.
I was about to say that.
Rolf is just the greatest. I think
Yeah.
he's still the face of the
He
Muppets
is
to
pretty
me.
cool. He was one of Jim's first non-abstract characters, and he's actually meant to resemble a dog instead of
Yeah.
like a weird monster. But potential names for Rolf include Barkley, Woofington, Barksville, Barkus, Howlington, Waggington, and Beowulf.
Beowulf.
Oh, sorry, Beowulf.
Beowulf's a different Muppet. There's something else there.
Rolf became famous by appearing regularly on the Jimmy Dean Show from 1963 to 66. He was like a sidekick. But his first appearance was in a series of Chow dog food commercials that aired in Canada from 62 to 63.
Wow.
Now, while Rolf was bringing Muppets into the mainstream, Jim spent a few years exploring many creative mediums and producing a variety of shows and films. And after following his creative pursuits, Jim was asked to assist in the foundation of a children's educational TV program.
Now, hold on a second. It couldn't be. I'll let you finish.
Could it? I feel a little underarm coming my way from you boys. Could you potentially be talking about Sesame Street?
Oh, I was talking about Sesame Street.
Well, I'm glad you were, Will.
Thank goodness.
I'm going to keep this thing rolling with a little bit of info about Sesame Street.
Please.
That was seamless.
So this show came about from discussions that happened in 1966 between television producer Joan Gans Cooney and Lloyd Morissette.
Man, these are the most 60s names I've ever heard in my life.
Yes.
Lloyd.
And
With
Joan.
2 L's as well.
Oh, you know it.
Lloyd. Just the most unserious name. Sorry. If anyone's called Lloyd, but come on. That's Garmadon's kid.
So their goal was to create a children's television show that would, and I'm quoting here, master the addictive qualities of television and do something good with them, such as helping young children prepare for school.
So wholesome.
That sounds like a good thing to do. Apparently a lot of programs around the time that kids were watching were widely criticised for being a little bit too violent, a little bit too commercial. So I don't know what they
That's
were
what
watching.
Sesame Street was as well.
Well, true. And so they decided, you know what, we need a show the kids can watch that's going to help prepare them for education and get them excited to learn. And that can be accessible by all kids, no matter what. So they spent 2 years researching this. And after
2 years researching what was good for kids.
pretty much.
Man, 60s, huh? Oh my goodness. Take me back.
But after this 2 years, they got a grant of $8 million from a few different places to make this show.
Oh, wow.
So, hey,
That's a big bird budget.
Wow, big bird budget.
definitely. They needed a lot of money because they wanted this show to compete against shows that had very professional, high-quality production value. Apparently, each episode had a budget of $28,000 for this show.
That's kind of like Top Gear.
Yeah.
It's about the same.
Just a bit less.
Pretty much. And so they spent about 18 months preparing this show,
My
getting it
gosh.
ready. A lot of time and effort.
$28,000 for an episode of the Sesame Street. That is nuts.
Yeah. And so it was originally called the Preschool Educational Television Show.
Boring.
Glad they changed
Snooze
the Sesame
fest.
Street, yeah.
Yeah. Because they were unable to decide on a name that they liked. And apparently they waited right until the last minute. They were like, we don't know what we're going to call it. And then they eventually chose the name that they disliked the least, which was Sesame Street.
I think it's great.
Yeah. Apparently it was inspired by Alibaba's magical phrase,
Of course. What else?
Do you have said magical phrase?
Open Sesame.
Whoa. Did anyone else just feel like their chakras open just then? No wonder that's so magic. Whoa.
So apparently there were some concerns that the name would be hard for kids to pronounce.
I'll say.
Of course.
I can barely say it.
But I was going to say, I think we've mastered it now. I think we've...
But that's part of the Sesame Street charm. They teach you things. It's edutainment. I'll stop. It's not my turn.
I like that word.
Edutainment?
Yeah.
That actually is good.
Did
you come up with
I
that,
did
or-
not come up with that. I think that's a Mr. Rogers thing he's come up with.
Ah.
I think that's a Fred Rogers vibe, which is very similar to Sesame Street in tone, but he was a real guy. So
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, he wasn't a puppet.
Tom Hanks, he wasn't. He was a human form of a puppet. I would.
Yeah, I was going
think.
to say
But,
less weird little freaks running around there.
Yeah, still a lot of weird little freaks around there. The little mini town. I don't know. Just gave me. It was uneasy when I was growing up in the '60s. It's just weird.
So there was a bunch of test screenings for Sesame Street that happened in 1969. And apparently, a lot of the kids loved the sections with the puppets. And then they didn't really like the sections with the human characters.
This is like me every time I watch a Godzilla film. Can I just say the human parts suck, and then whenever the big guy comes on, I'm like, I want more of that guy right now.
And he's on your t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm wearing
Like 10
my
times.
Zilla shirt today, straight from Don Quixote in Japan.
Oh,
Yeah, beautiful place, which is where you guys were last time, tasting donuts. If
Yeah.
it was worth it,
Yeah, we
we
were.
had to carry a whole podcast on our shoulders.
And we both got a Godzilla magnet from Don Quixote.
I've got a keychain. I've got a little -1 keychain on my bag. It's great.
That's
I
hard.
got some. Did you get the trading cards from the Godzilla store in Tokyo? The Godzilla trading
they
cards.
had trading?
Yeah.
I couldn't go, but you went to the shop.
I went on
It
my
was
own.
pretty underwhelming, I will say. It was like a shop. It was like as big as this room, and they were like, I got a glasses case. If I showed you my glasses case,
No.
I'll keep talking and then
Okay.
I'll get it out
Get it
because
in.
you have to see this.
Okay, while you're doing that. So they loved the puppets. They didn't really like the human sections. And they thought, you know what? We're going to go against this advice that we'd got from child psychologists who had said, the kids will be confused if there's puppets and humans in the same shot. And they decided to combine them. We just had
So that's a glasses cleaner. For those at home, what you're looking at right now, this is what cleans my glasses in the morning. He's an official, this was the only one there, by the way, Godzilla X Kong The New Empire glasses cleaner.
it's got a monkey on it as well.
Now that's King Kong, bro. You be careful. You be careful, man.
Just some.
His name is right there. It came with, this is my Oscar Wilde case as well, but it came with, yeah, good response. It came with a case that just had the title on the front of it. It's just a big bulky case for your glasses, and it had Godzilla X Kong on it. And then you flipped it just upside down. It said Monarch on it. Best 100 yen I ever spent in my life.
Should make a
100.
It's like, sorry, 1,000?
$1.
What's the decimal point? It's like 1,000 is $10.
I think
It was
so.
very cheap,
Yes.
that being said. They did not want it to be in the shop.
Spared no expense.
I didn't spare any expense. Continue. Sorry, I was going to forget about it. I had to show it off.
I'm glad you did. That was
Floor is yours.
That was nice. All right, season 1 of Sesame Street premieres in November of 1969. Widely praised from parents and kids, everyone was loving it. Apparently, there was 1.9 million households and 7 million children would watch it every day. It sounds like quite a lot. Mm-hmm. Apparently, in 1970, Big Bird was on the cover of Time magazine.
Such a hard cover, by the way. Really nailed it. I've got a fact about Big Bird later that I prepared for this.
Okay, when I get to that,
you got to ask because
throw
it's a
to you.
good story.
Yeah. It's up to its 55th season now in 2025.
Wow.
55.
Yeah.
Good grief.
It's won 11 Grammys, 150 Emmys. It's got over 4,500 episodes, 180 albums apparently.
wow.
So it's well decorated. Now you're probably going, when does Jim Henson come into this picture? And as Kyle had previously mentioned, oh gosh,
Wow, that's a small image.
Jonty's bringing up the Time cover.
Someone's got it graded. What's the graded at the
The graded magazine, the PSA 10
what's
Big
the-
Bird Time.
What's the rating?
Off eBay.
The one
I think it's
more
for
to the
sale.
right. Yeah.
We should buy that.
Ooh.
5.5. It's not great.
It's not worth it. It'll
Yeah.
be a couple of thousand though. Oh, it's US $450.
How many yen is that?
Oh, it's hard to say. Fluctuates, all these tariffs. Probably affects Japan. I don't know.
All right. So as Kyle had said, Jim had done a bunch of stuff with Sam and Friends, hundreds of commercials, guest appearances on talk shows, films. He'd done a lot of stuff. He was impressing all the right people, apparently. And so Joan, who we mentioned before, they both met in 1968 at one of Sesame Street's 5 3-day curriculum planning seminars. So they really went all out. But Joan and the staff were very impressed by the quality and creativity of Jim and his team. So they asked him if they wanted to work full-time on Sesame Street and create some characters for the show. Now, apparently Jim was a little bit reluctant to use some of the characters because he didn't want to be typecast as a children's entertainer.
Whoops. Whoopsie, Jim. Sorry, buddy.
Apparently he was like, okay, I'll do it. And he agreed to waive his performance fee for full ownership of all the Sesame Street Muppets, which I think was
That was a good call.
pretty good call.
I take it back, Jim. You nailed that.
Yeah. And so on the show, Jim performs Kermit the Frog, who I didn't realize was on Sesame Street for a long time. And he was the only original main Muppet character to appear on Sesame Street, apparently. On Sesame Street, Kermit was usually appearing as a lecturer or a straight man to another Muppet foil or a news reporter interviewing storybook characters.
News reporter is
Man.
iconic.
No small roles,
Yeah.
Got to start somewhere.
He was doing the most. And apparently, once he joined Sesame Street, it allowed Jim to stop doing commercials, and he said it was a pleasure to get out of that world and start doing the show. So by the late 1970s, Jim Henson was doing all sorts of other things and could only pop into Sesame Street rather than continuing to puppet those characters full-time in all their main plots. And his final appearance on the show was in 1989, where some of his final performances included The Bird Family, which was a Sesame Street news flash segment in which Kermit interviews a bird whose parents live in different trees.
Okay, I think I get that one.
Kind of where they're going there. Yeah. So yeah, 1989 was sort of when he left the show, but he's responsible for some very big characters, and I'll quickly chat through some now. The first of which being the aforementioned Big Bird.
The biggest bird.
He appeared in the first episode, and one of the three main protagonists of the series, along with Elmo and Cookie Monster. Big Bird is a curious 8-foot-tall yellow bird believed to be a canary who resides in a large nest alongside the 123 Sesame Street building.
So believed to be a canary as well.
They don't know.
We got no proof.
don't know.
We just believe he's a canary.
Well, have you ever seen a canary that big?
No. Maybe that's why we don't see Big Bird all the time.
That's true.
He's out hunting those big canaries.
But Big Bird represents a 6-year-old child with his tendency to question everything.
Okay.
So each of the characters sort of represents a different thing. I feel like I got to throw to your Big Bird fact here.
I think this is true.
All good facts start with
I
that.
think it's true, and I've just heard it so many times. But Big Bird, I'm positive, was going to be on the Challenger, the spaceship that blew up that was leaving space. So I think they were going to put him on the Challenger to send him into space, and then they pulled it out last minute, and then the spaceship blew up upon leaving. I've heard this so many times, and all I can imagine is, look it up. All I can imagine is, look, it's the first question. Big Bird almost died. I thought he was meant to be on the Challenger. They discussed the possibility of him being on board.
Wow.
So they fully did discuss, why do we bring Big Bird on? And it exploded, man. Could you imagine kids watching that live and Big Bird's like, okay, bye, and then it just everything goes wrong. He would be canonically dead. And he would have flown out of the spaceship into someone's backyard. There would have been this giant canary would have landed in their backyard.
That's a great photo there.
Big Bird into space.
Are we kidding? That would have been crazy. It would have been a different timeline because I would love to be in the room when they were like, well, we've got some room on this spaceship. About 7 feet of room. What can we put on here? And then someone just goes like, stupid suggestion, dude. What about Big Bird? What about Big Bird? Yeah, what about Big Bird? Look at all these photos, man. This is so funny.
How do they puppeteer Big Bird?
It's a big guy inside.
with
one arm.
It's Carol. It's Carol inside there. It's just one arm in the thing, and one arm doesn't move. It's that and this. It's that. I'm pretty sure.
There's just a photo of half of Big Bird.
There's all these video essays being like, did he almost die? It's like, no, he wasn't on it, but that's my fact. He was almost on the Challenger.
Great fact.
Thank you.
When I say almost, he was definitely never going to be on the Challenger, but there were discussions that they were going to put him on that spaceship, and then he would have canonically been killed in orbit. What a way for that Muppet to go.
Thank goodness that didn't happen.
Thank goodness it didn't happen.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
All right, a couple other Sesame Street characters that are worth mentioning. Oscar the Grouch.
Oh, man.
Of course.
Another first episode appearance from him. Oscar the Grouch is a trash can dwelling creature. He belongs to his own unique species and is portrayed as a habitual pessimist and was designed to give children permission to feel grouchy and to demonstrate differing opinions.
He's been grouchy for 50 years.
Been pretty grouchy.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah. But apparently Oscar has several friends of his own despite his pessimism.
The worm.
Including the Grouch's pet worm Slimy and his girlfriend Grungetta.
God damn. You gonna pick a Grungetta up? I gotta see what the worm market is. What am I looking at? Yeah, okay. Sure. I thought it was a worm, so I was expecting. I thought the worm's girlfriend was Grungetta.
Apologies for the disappointment.
Was that his worm? He lives with his worm and his worm's girlfriend? Jim, bro, what's going on, man? Where'd you draw the line at this? Yeah, Grungetta seems nice. Is that a tattoo or a skateboard of Grungetta just there? There's a photo. What am I looking at? Oh, well, that's a shame. You wouldn't want to get that. Grungetta. That's on you forever, man. A photo of Grungetta is on your arm forever. That is...
Is that back of
Oscar
arm
with
as
long
well?
hair?
Looks like leg even.
Yeah.
Yes.
Calf?
Very interesting
Grungetta on the calf.
decision. Some other Muppets who appeared in the first episode, Bert and Ernie,
The boys.
Classics. Kermit, as previously mentioned, and Cookie Monster. So a couple of big
Yorick.
hitters from the start.
Yorick been
Yorick,
shot.
his brother.
He's been killed.
Yorick was kept
Yorick
well
was
away.
kept well away from there. League of Legends. Yorick, League of Legends. He transferred to League of Legends.
Oh.
Yeah. That's not Yorick. Oh man, he's scary, dude.
Yeah.
He's scary.
What's with the hand? Yeah,
Oh
that's
man,
freaky.
he's a frightening guy. Wow. What like golem is that? It's like guarding some
Oh,
bridge.
what's with the candle on his head? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's a freaky guy.
Jack be nimble.
You know who's not a freaky guy?
Big Bird?
He could
True.
have
Grover.
Unless he was in flames.
Well, I was going to say Elmo.
Elmo.
Oh, Elmo.
Elmo. Who's described as the embodiment of Sesame Street.
Yeah.
First appeared in episode 1439.
What?
Late edition.
He was it was a long audition process to get the Elmo character right.
I think it took a little while. I mean, he was in a few episodes earlier. He appeared as an unnamed monster.
Unnamed monster?
Yeah, but then he got
We've all been one of those.
he got named later. Yeah.
Great.
He represents a 3-year-old child and usually refers to himself from a third-person perspective. Portrayed as friendly and cheerful, has a distinctive giggling laugh, and apparently every so often he falls over backwards to amuse viewers.
Almost.
Yeah, no, it is amusing.
It's quite
I'll
humorous,
confirm
actually.
that. I've seen that.
Yes.
Very funny.
But Kyle mentioned one interesting character of Sesame Street. You may know him if you're in Afghanistan as Cash Cole, or if you're in Brazil as Cosmo.
Gonzo?
In Puerto Rico, you may know him as Archibaldo.
Right. It's Grover.
Sorry, if you're in Afghanistan, you might know him. What?
What was his name in
They
Afghanistan?
call him Cash Cole.
They call him Kajko.
Apparently that means bowl.
Bowl?
Yeah.
Like bowl?
Yeah, like bowl.
International man.
Henson, bro, we got to discuss these names, man. What the hell are you thinking?
Grover.
We're of course talking about Grover. First appeared in episode 125.
Rest in peace, just quietly.
Just quietly.
But apparently he appeared a little bit earlier as Proto Grover.
Punished Grover is where you get this Calamity Grover. He's got different forms every time he gets killed. Proto Grover. Muppet Wiki, let's bookmark this page.
What is that
So
photo?
we're looking at Proto
Wow,
Grover.
that is a fairly scary Muppet.
He's just green.
For those of you at home, he's just a hairy blob.
Yeah. So
Not the Grover we know and love today.
he first appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show.
That has got to be the funniest photo I've ever seen, bro.
He looks so dirty.
He looks like he doesn't want to be there, the poor guy.
He does look a little rough.
Wow.
So 1967, Christmas Eve, he appears on the Ed Sullivan Show as Gleep. Apparently that was his name.
Hey, it's Gleep. Hey, guys, Gleep's here.
Gleep, also known as Bowl.
Yeah.
Man, they did not like this guy. They were giving him a horrible start to his life.
Well, Gleep was one of several monsters who were described as a group of thugs, crooks, and
Don't let Gleep catch you running down.
yeah, he was trying to steal toys from Santa's workshop.
God, that's horrible.
Okay, right.
Gleep, you're a criminal, mate.
Yeah. Greenish brown fur, red nose, raspy voice. During the first season of Sesame Street, he was nicknamed Fuzzy Face or the Hairy One.
The hairy one. Oh, we've all been called that before.
Kind of checks out. And then eventually merged into what we now know as Grover. But this puppet of Gleep was then later used to be Grover's mother
Oh, that's horrible.
Okay.
That's terrible.
for a little bit.
Gleep's horrible.
Yeah, very scary.
Gleep's like a Smiling Friends character. That's not a real... I can't believe that's a thing that exists in this
Yeah,
world.
that is freaky.
That's not of this earth.
It's time for Gleep to disappear, I think.
Yeah, Gleep's got to go. I think that's what Henson said. As well. I was like, Gleep's got to go. We're getting rid of Gleep.
And yes, famously, Grover is still on the run, missing. Who knows where he is.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get some info soon on that.
He'll be dead. Who knows?
Okay, now that we're all sesamied up, I'm ready to jump back into the Muppets. I'm trying to keep this in chronological order. So this is just after or during, most likely during Jim Henson's Sesame Street run. Despite the show's success, Henson was concerned by one major drawback, that the show was for kids. This meant that all of his Muppets were perceived to be kids' entertainment. And throughout the 70s, Jim was challenging this perception, and his original vision for the Muppet Show was a South Park-esque show with dark humor and targeting a more mature audience.
This is what Jim said at the time. He was like, I wanted to be like South Park. I love that show.
Yeah, but after getting some momentum and getting people on board to make the show, they kind of changed this. And this is word for word from that book that I've got, but I've just put it on my computer. The Muppet Show is a half-hour primetime entertainment program. There is not a single human being in the regular cast. Instead, we have Jim Henson's Muppets, among the most bizarre and hilarious collection of puppets ever created, performing 30 minutes of uninhibited lunacy. There is a cast of perhaps a dozen regular characters, augmented by an army of creatures, animals, monsters, machines, and abstract
An
themes.
army. Yeah.
It's like
Good
Warhammer.
word to pick there.
So that's the synopsis. And in 1975, the second pilot of the Muppet Show released, and it was called Sex and Violence.
Yeah, perfect.
They shoot Grover.
So I think that's the vibe he was
Really,
trying to go for.
gunning for that.
But the first pilot released in 1974, the year prior, was the Valentine's Day special. And in these episodes, a bunch of characters made their debut, like Animal, Swedish Chef, Kermit came back, Dr. Teeth, Waldorf, Miss Piggy, a bunch of Sesame Street characters.
You don't know Dr.
Who's
Teeth?
Dr. Teeth.
Dr. Teeth is the head of the band. He's the musician one.
He is.
Let me have a little look here.
And
in the-
also George Washington.
He's the head of the Electric Mayhem.
George Washington.
And famous Muppet George Washington,
he in the band
who
as
later
well?
went on to become president. By the way. It was amazing.
All right. Ah, yes, Dr. Teeth. Yeah.
But
Don't
yes,
pretend like you know Dr. Teeth, Brady. Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, we all know Dr. Teeth.
each week Kermit and his puppet cast put on a variety show that featured a different human guest star each week and consisted of a loose string of performances, songs, skits, and interviews. After these releases, the Muppet Show blew up, and by 1977, it was shown in over 100 countries and reached an audience of 230 million people.
Wow.
5 seasons aired between 1976 and 1981, and they featured around 100 celebrity guests. The Muppet movie was released in 1979 and grossed $66 million on an $8 million budget, which helped continue the wave of success of Jim and the Muppets. Now I think you can jump in here for your spiel on the weird things.
We have, before we get to the PowerPoint I've brought to show some photos of these weird Muppets,
Oh,
I
gosh.
would like to play a game to gauge your recognition of the weird stuff that he's made. He didn't just make Sesame Street and Muppets. He also made 2 movies, and they were real weird. And
Should we call them something else except, like, not weird? Like, they're weird, but...
the Ghouls.
Yeah. Maybe...
Don't call them weird, man. Don't
Yeah, they're my favourite.
my little friends from Dark Crystal.
Absurdities.
Experimental.
Absurdities.
Absurdities.
All right. Well,
Dark Crystal does have some
Maybe
proper freaks.
I'll show you.
I will say Dark
don't
Crystal
you
is
worry.
weird.
So we've got a game of, are these a Muppet that I made up or a Muppet that Jim Henson has made?
Okay.
Okay.
And we've got the first one. We've got Big Mean Carl. He's a shaggy monster with giant tusks and a tendency to eat smaller Muppets whole.
No, that's real.
He wants to eat
Are you
Muppet
sure?
whole?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Real.
definitely real.
I mean, Muppets are known to eat each other. Yorick is,
Yorik's he
Yeah.
will eat.
Yeah.
He'll eat anything.
I'm going with yes.
I'll go yes too.
That is correct.
Yeah, he's in the Muppets.
Big mean
He's a
Carl.
man. He's
Yeah.
a big man guy. He's in
Yeah.
a big suit. It's a whole man in there, I'm pretty sure. He's
massive,
giant.
Yeah.
Look at him.
He looks pretty mean.
He's actually nicer up close, but he's just
glowing eyes.
it's like you see a pit bull and you're like mean dog and you pat it and you're like, oh, you're just used to upbringing,
I guess we're not Muppets, so we won't be eaten by.
Never know.
Oh, yeah, no,
What is that bear one called again? The bear Muppet might be my favorite. Just a straight up grid. Yeah, that
I think
guy.
his name's Tony or something.
Yeah, it's something crazy. It's something stupid like Tony the bear. He's just an actual bear.
Let's have a look.
Are we finding this? Bobo the bear.
Bobo the bear, man.
Yeah.
Not
What is
Tony.
that one? Oh, is that just Big Mean Carl?
That's
down
big.
there?
You just said it was
No,
Big
no,
Mean
the
Carl.
blue one.
Have you got a...
That's Big Mean Carl, but
Have you got
backlit
another
in the
Muppet there?
night.
You have another Muppet. The next Muppet is Thog.
Oh, it's Glor.
A giant Muppet who stands over 9 feet tall.
Glob?
That's taller than Big
Thog.
Bird.
Yeah, that's bigger than Big Bird. I don't believe that at all.
Yes.
Because Big Bird's the biggest bird.
All right, what
But
are
he's
we
only
all
a
thinking
bird.
here?
I think he's this big shaggy guy.
I'm going to say no.
I know there's one big shaggy guy, but I don't know his name. Like the guy, the brown shaggy with the teeth, with the
Yeah.
underbite.
Yeah.
I forgot what he's called, though. So I'm going to abstain.
Could be this.
I'm going to say no.
Are you saying no as well?
I'm saying yes.
3 different
Alright.
answers.
Yeah, this is tricky. What do I do?
Undecided.
I'll just play Kyle's Sphere. Got it correct.
Nice.
Thog.
Is it the guy that we're thinking about?
Thog.
Just look up thug and see what you get.
He's a big
Oh, thog. You said thog. I thought you said thug. Oh, if you'd said thog, I would have said yes. I love thog. He's great. Muppets Deep Dive Thog. He's amazing. He's giant, man.
Big blue thing.
Look, there's our other guy. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, just there, that one. For those of you at home, it's a photo. Who are listening on Spotify, there's a photo. I'm sorry, look it on YouTube. It's better. Yeah, the Muppets custom Thog monster.
We should get a Thog
That's
suit.
$400.
Weekly. What was
Anyway.
down? Weekly Muppet Wednesdays. That's a great banner. Look at
It's a
that.
Facebook group.
With Thog. What have I got a profile for Thog? I've got to get in that group, man. I've got it. Weekly Muppet
What's the
Wednesdays.
next one? Too much thought.
Just also weekly Muppet Wednesdays. We know it's weekly. You said it's Wednesdays in the title. Just say Muppet Wednesdays. It's not going to happen twice a week, is it? Man, these people, these Thog fans, man.
Next Muppet we've got here are the Giggler Gremlins.
Oof.
They're small pink gremlins with oversized teeth who laugh uncontrollably at any joke told.
Yeah, they're true. They're real. They're real.
I'm going to say no, because that'd be annoying to watch.
Not for kids who giggle at everything.
That's
I'm
true.
gonna,
Just
I'll,
like
I'll
a
go with you.
Giggler
I'll say
gremlin.
true.
Yeah, I think it's true.
Well, this is for the true. Incorrect.
Damn
What
it.
do you mean?
They
They must
aren't
be
real.
real. Let's make them.
This
You
the
look up
Muppets
anywhere
for
the
us.
what was it? Giggling Gremlins.
They're not real.
Watch a Muppet come up right now. Giggling Gremlins. First thing's gonna be a Muppet. It's a gremlin. Look, that's a real Muppet. Man,
How
you
could I
on thin
forget?
ice, bro.
Next up, we've got the Mutations.
Logan.
A trio of fuzzy, human-like monsters with unsettlingly smooth faces.
Oh.
Oh, that sounds
I don't
horrible.
like that.
I don't want it to be real.
I'm going to say no.
I want to say no, but I'm going to say yes because I'm really hoping that they're real. Because that seems like a Henson freak moment where they've just been like, yeah, let's make it creepy.
I'll say no.
The sound effects are annoying me. They are real. The mutations are
Oh,
real.
no.
They're the mutations.
We're getting a photo of these mutations now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're frightening. Yeah, I remember one of these guys. One of them's in the movie,
Yeah.
the Muppets 2010 movie.
They're purple.
Not very
things.
human-like.
Yeah.
You said they were human-like? This is a giant purple monster, bro. That's not human. What kind of humans are you
Hey, they
looking
got,
at?
they got
Maybe
arms and
humanoid.
legs. They got arms.
Weekly Muppet Wednesdays. Look, it's back. they've got a banner for every Muppet. Oh, that is so funny.
Got one more.
Oh my goodness.
We've got Baron von Squish. A
Yes.
blob-like aristocrat with a handlebar mustache and a top hat.
No.
Oh, no. Yeah.
No.
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 Yeah, no.
Look, that's flawless.
Yeah, no way.
That was
It's
it.
too
That was-
similar to Stadler and or Waldorf
I
Yes.
actually understood that.
in a suit.
Yep.
Can't have two Muppets in a suit.
Can't have two Muppets in a suit.
Unless
Next
they're
one is
Stellar and
Professor Bieber Flap, a Muppet scientist with 12 arms who builds ridiculous inventions.
It sounds awful to puppeteer.
Yeah, no. Oh, but I reckon they would. They got 20 mil on this here. They probably have before they can do
They got
that.
28K on episode.
What was it called again?
Professor Bieber Flap.
Nah.
Bibba Flap.
Flap.
Nah.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I doubt it.
Kyle, what do you
I just
think?
feel like I would have seen that. It would have been more popular if it was
I'm
at
going to say
12.
yes.
It's real?
Yeah, sure.
It's not real. I made that up.
We would have known about. We would have seen it.
Yeah, it's
We would have seen it.
pretty freaky. Next one we've got the Sputter Twins, a pair of Muppet robots who always short circuit.
That could be real. I feel like I've seen a short circuit moment before. But robots,
I feel like a lot of them are like, yeah, creatures.
they're like creatures. They're not animatronic robots.
What about 80s robot?
He's a robot. So, yeah, you're correct. So, I guess, yeah, true, then. This one's real.
No, it's not.
Well, there was outside interference. I want to recall.
All right, I'll do one more.
Yep.
So hopefully, this is received well. We've got the Mean Mama. A big brown hunched over Muppet with a massive underbite and glowing yellow eyes.
I didn't know it was a woman.
Is that the one we just spoke about?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Just want to get a photo of
the
him.
Mean Mama.
Yeah.
It's a woman?
Correct.
Apparently.
Hey, you know Bluey's a chick as well.
Yep.
Never did not realise that.
Maybe not a chick.
No, she's a girl. Bluey's a girl. Oh, that's not the
one. That's a
one.
different
Okay,
one.
wait. I thought it was the guy we were just looking at.
I thought it was too.
No.
Wow, that's horrible.
All right, on to some even more horrible things. We're on to looking. This isn't a game. The game is over. You guys did pretty well. Give you a...
Who did the best? You didn't write it down?
No.
You didn't write it down?
No, I didn't.
We don't know.
There was so many differing answers. It was really confusing.
It was just no and yes, Wilson. It was two different answers each time.
and another.
And an undecided.
Not too sure.
I love sitting on that fence.
So we've got the Dark Crystal.
Ugh.
It was made with 12 main puppeteers, and it was the first live-action movie to feature only puppets as the main cast.
Ah. That's quite cool.
Yeah.
And the last.
And what have we done?
What have we done?
This movie was also the reason why David Bowie accepted to be in Labyrinth. Because he saw this and went, you know what, this Jim Henson guy's a real freak.
He matches my energy correctly.
I want to make some crazy stuff. So first up, we've got Jen, who is the main character of the Dark Crystal, and is a gelfling.
A what?
Gelfling.
A gelfling? Okay.
And was raised by the Uru.
Jim. This is what happens when you give him a budget. Jim. Yeah.
And Jen was puppeteered by Jim Henson and was played by Stephen Garlick.
So that's a real person's name?
Yes.
What was it?
Garlick.
Stephen Garlick?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. The first one isn't. They're not too important.
Oh.
There we go. There's a photo of Jen.
She's got an arts degree. Yeah. Yeah, Jen studied theatre in uni. I think I know Jen. I've like met her. Wow.
And the next one we've got is Kira, who is performed by Catherine Mullen as the primary puppeteer.
I mean, these ones are pretty impressive, these puppets.
They're very
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
It's almost
Not
like
the other ones weren't impressive, but these are like...
They're just a bit
it's kind of like
unsettling.
Uncanny Valley a bit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like they're really quite lifelike.
They're hand puppets with the arms being controlled by rods
How do their mouths move?
with hands.
Oh, I thought you meant the hands like came out of the side.
No.
So the hands were okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, sorry, no. Jen was a hand puppet. Kira actually her facial expressions were controlled by puppeteers using radio controlled.
Oh, that's
devices.
right. That's what I
Yeah.
thought some of them
Yeah.
did, which is because
Yes.
you can tell. You can tell.
And-
My face is like that too.
Aren't we all? And Kira also had wings at a certain point in the movie, and they were so hard to make. It took them like apparently 2 months of rehearsal to get the wings looking seamless as she flew away.
Could have just cut the suit.
Yeah, could have. The next one is the Uru.
That sucks. That is so scary.
The Uru were puppeted by at least 2 people, with one person in the suit and someone controlling the exteriors of the puppet. And in most cases, in most scenes, Jim Henson would be the one inside the suit, walking around and controlling the puppet.
That's like a species.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of those.
The Uru. You capitalized U and R. Is that
That's how they...
that's how they do it?
Yeah.
Of course.
And the next one is the Fizz Gig.
Oh, that's so cute.
See, I told you I played AFL for 6 years. I kicked that thing around. That's what it is.
A friendly monster and was Kira's sidekick, who she left behind when the journey got tough in the Dark Crystal.
Oh.
And it was
Sorry, Fizzy.
and it was a glove puppet. So someone would just run around with that on their hand.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, sorry, I gotta play Fizz Gig today. My left hand has to be at its best. What? That's man.
And the next one we've got Aughra.
Sure.
Wow,
Okay.
This
that's
puppet
impressive.
was performed performed by Frank Oz and was voiced by Billy Whitelaw. And it was designed to have an eye that could pop out. whenever needed.
You technically pop all of their eyes out if you're careful enough.
Well, yeah, you probably could.
That one is very impressive.
Yeah. The next one is the podlings, or the pod people, who are a peaceful race known for farming and brewing.
They look peaceful.
And they apparently speak their own language. The language was created by linguist J.M. Lee.
These are some of the funniest names I've ever heard in my life. First it was garlic, by the way. And then just a first name that's 2 letters. JM. Hey, JM.
Yeah.
What?
They're
They're pretty great.
We've got the Garthim, which I think are my favourite.
He's amazing. What is that?
They're a race of creatures inspired by beetles, and they are used as the army of the Skeksis. And the Skeksis is up next.
Oh, they're like kind of vulture-y things.
They're cool. I like them.
The Skeksis puppets took 6 puppeteers. 2 of them were stuffed inside each of them, while 4 people controlled the other various parts. And in some scenes, there are 7 Skeksis on screen.
There's 2 people in each of those things?
Yes.
Wow.
And 4 other people.
4 other people were doing like all this stuff around them.
You said 12 on screen?
7 on screen.
I can't imagine the rehearsing to do that. To get all 6 people like locked in.
It took them a very long time. It took 5 years for the movie to get made.
Wow.
Can't remember if I said that. Yeah. And we've got Skek Tech, who is the scientist of the Skeksis, and it was puppeteered by Steve Whitmire, who was
he later went on to do Kermit.
Yeah, was the original voice of Kermit.
Love Kermit. Sorry, love Steve. I just get them mixed up. They're the same guy, you know.
And was also then voiced by Mark Hamill in the TV show that came out, but I didn't really focus on that. I just wanted to mention Mark Hamill. Next up, we've got the Labyrinth puppets.
Oh,
hello, Hoggle.
We've got Hoggle.
Aren't you great?
This took 4 to 5 puppeteers depending on the scene, and is the most complex puppet in the movie, requiring a bunch of people to do the movement, and for other people to do eyebrows, eyes, and mouth. And it was built to have somebody walk around, and it took them, again, 2 months to rehearse to get the movement of the actor and the mechanics of the face correct.
Wow.
it's like a little old man.
And it took, I forgot to say this. It took them a year to build all the puppets for Labyrinth. And then it took them even longer to rehearse with them. The next one we've got is Ludo.
Love him.
This is probably my favourite. Took 2 puppeteers, someone inside and the other controlling the mechanics. This was the heaviest puppet for the movie, and it weighed 35 kilos.
Wow.
Someone was just walking around with that on them.
Like a big red woolly...
Kind of looks like the
thing from Star Wars.
from Star Wars, yeah.
The Rancor.
The Rancor. This happened last time with Slimer the Ghost, by the way. They were like,
Is
"What's
that
that?"
what you mean? The Rancor?
Is it not that what it's called?
the thing that he lightsabers open in in the snow planet.
Oh,
The-
the
Bamford?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
These are Star Wars things.
Bamfer.
Sure.
Whilst you
It's
look
like a
up the
big Yeti.
Oh, no, it's not
Bamfer,
that. Yeah.
we've got Sir Didymus.
Oh, that's a real dog. That's the Annie dog.
This is a rod puppet with mechanical facial expressions, and they used a real dog for his steed.
I didn't think
awesome.
we'd get a Diddy reference in this episode.
So Didymus.
This guy's my favourite.
He's pretty. All of them in your favorite. You got to pick one.
No, this guy's definitely my favourite.
This guy's pretty great. This is
Yeah.
a good favorite.
It took them 2 months to get the dog to accept having the puppet on its back. And then
accept. You've got to do it, man. No, bro, I don't want a puppet on my back.
And a further 3 months for rehearsal with the puppet doing all the the animatronics and stuff. So this dog hated having
They hated working together. Famously, a feud on set. They hated each other. So Didymus and this dog that looks like it should be an Annie, by the way.
Next up, we've got the Fireys,
Okay.
who are a bunch of puppets with detachable limbs and heads. And the bodies are made with rod control and similar to other normal puppets, but the heads actually were... People put their hands in the head and they'd be wearing whatever colour they were on the set, and they'd run around with the hand on their... Sorry, run around with the head on their hand.
So it looks like it's floating.
Yeah. And they required about 4 puppeteers to do each of them. And finally, for Labyrinth, we've got the goblins.
Yep.
Well, of course.
Yep.
You got to have the goblins.
Yeah, you got to have the
Need
goblins.
Yeah.
These are David Bowie's little little friends, and some of the goblins were worn as suits, while others were operated from below like traditional Muppets. And these were designed by Frank Oz and Jim Henson, like personally.
The one in the middle looks a bit like Chucky.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yes. Next up, we've got the Land of Gorch.
They just keep coming, these things.
Yeah. This is the Saturday Night Live puppets.
Say the name. Say this guy's name.
When did this happen?
This is 1975 to 1976.
Say this guy's name. Say it out loud. Say it, bro.
This is
It's not funny.
King Plubus.
King Plubus. Of course.
This was performed and voiced by Jim Henson, doing everything.
Doing everything. I want control of Plubus.
And an additional puppeteer controlled the hands, and King Plubus weighed about 25 kilos.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Do you have a King Plubus photo in your book?
I have seen
Probably a
King
couple of
Plubus.
pages for him. Try up the very front, I
What is
imagine.
he holding though in that
Probably an
photo?
asthma puffer, I think. It's probably, is it a pipe?
I found a Yorick holiday greetings card.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't need to see that.
Oh, Yorick is awful.
He's all right.
Next up, we've got Queen.
Queen Plubus.
I don't know how you say
Queen Puda.
as a hand puppet, and it was performed by Alice Tweedy, who was the first female puppeteer to work with the Muppets, and apparently didn't have much range of motion. So that's really all this little Muppet could do. Next up, we've got Scred, who was a hand
They
puppet.
just get worse. Like the names just get so strange. Scred.
Well, that's the hard part, coming
I
up with
know.
names, right?
He just wrote, he was like, "What does it make you feel?" Someone went scared, and he took the A out of it, and we're like, "Thanks." Scred.
Scred. Scred performed interviews with many people.
Why? Why'd they make him interview people? Yeah, you're gonna have Scred today.
And it was a hand puppet, and it was apparently very light. And so they used it to their advantage and like threw Scred around.
Poor guy.
And last but not least, we've got the mighty Favog,
Oh wow.
which this guy's pretty cool. This is the largest puppet made for this series. And Frank Oz performed the voice and controlled the mouth mechanics, and required at least 2 puppeteers due to the size. It couldn't move, so they kind of had to like plonk it in the middle of one of the sketches they did. And apparently this guy did a lot of stuff with Chevy Chase. A lot of the scenes the mighty Favog had was with Chevy Chase.
That's a weird crossover. Kind of looks like Chevy Chase.
And apparently it was very hard to use in sketches, so they didn't use him very often because you couldn't move him. So he was just in the middle of it, and he kept getting cut. Poor guy. So that is an overview of all the weird little, what do you call them? The
Absurdities.
absurdities
Yeah.
that Jim Henson made.
Well, thank you for coming with us on this Jim Henson Muppet experience. It's been a wild ride. I encourage you to Google some of these things and have a look, because I feel like hearing about them is great, but seeing them is another thing entirely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the info, boys. Good to hear about the
that was
Muppets.
fun.
Good to learn.
It was a pleasure to listen.
Yeah.
I just had the Challenger fact. That's all I came with.
Well, do you want to share a fact right now?
I've already said that. Oh, I'll do this.
Record, yeah.
Do I just pick a random page?
Or do you want to read off the back of the WrestleMania?
I'd rather pick from this.
Pick any page you want.
Okay,
Random
I'm just
page.
gonna go random page.
If you get the Mr. Beast page, we're going to go crazy. Now.
Here's a double page.
No.
spread. Do you want to go again?
Yeah, maybe,
No.
maybe try again.
Do you want to go for Jimmy Beast?
Do you want to go for a bit? This is a pretty funny one.
Yeah, hit us with it.
And then you can look for the Jimmy
Funny
Beast.
Guinness World Record.
DJ Renoka. It's a child DJ. Full 2 pages. So, browsing videos on YouTube doesn't tend to trigger life-changing moments, but for a 4-year-old music fan from Japan, it proved to be a significant turning point. After watching a female DJ beat mixing online, Renoka, born in 2017, set her heart on becoming a mix master maestro herself. One of her Christmas presents in 2022 was a DJ controller, 2 decks joined by a mixer, and before long her natural talent shone through, putting those skills to the test on 9th of July 2023. DJ Renoka staged a solo gig at a venue in her home city of Tokyo, aged just 6 years and 150 355 days old.
Wow.
Unfazed by the demands of playing for more than an hour to a crowded dance floor, her show went on to earn her acclaim as the world's youngest female club DJ. DJ Renoka now wants to go on a tour and play festivals around the globe. That ambition got underway on the 21st of January 2024 when she appeared at Neon Oasis 24 in Taipei City, Taiwan, China. Aged 6 years, 351 days, making her the youngest female DJ to perform at a music festival.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's so funny, bro. Do I get the Beast page?
Give it a go.
One more chance for the Beast page.
I'm sure it's going to be sort of up ahead. No, I got Potato Head. No, I went to content. I went to contents. Hold on. I got Mr. Beast. There he is. Right there. Bodybuilders.
Some bodybuilding.
Why am I getting the Beast page?
We never got it.
You've never gotten the Beast page?
All right, let's wrap this up with a nice bow. Where can people find us?
You can find us at TopyPod on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, but nowhere else.
Yes, not X.
On Instagram?
That's the first one I said, wasn't it?
Did you?
Yeah.
I wasn't listening. I was looking at the youngest female DJ.
And send us an email at topypod@gmail.com. Send us your favourite Muppet.
Yeah.
We'll look at that.
Send us anything.
It could be...
Send us anything. Just email. Whatever you want to send.
Where can people find you?
Oh, probably at work from 9 to 5 each day of the week. And then elsewhere you can go at Tagashowie on Instagram. Twitch now, we're streaming a lot. When's this releasing? Not today, obviously. So
sometime
soon. You can probably find us now. We're rebooted on. We've been gone for a year, but now we're back. We've got a lot of new cast members. A lot of cool things happening on Instagram, YouTube, and you can do TikTok, but I hate it. So try and do Instagram first. At Tagashowie on everything ever.
Any puppets in the cast?
Yep.
Nice.
Just one.
We're the
You better stay tuned for after the credits of this new short film. Maybe you'll see a little familiar puppet you like. Who knows? I don't know.
Ooh,
I just shot and edited it. I wouldn't know what it is. Got no idea. Yeah, Yorick. Doctor, the King Plit? What was his name?
King
Plubus. King Plubus, yeah. King Plubus appears out of nowhere. Yeah, find me there. Find us there. Some cool stuff happening.
All right.
Thanks for having me, Top Year.
Thanks for
Top fact. What was today's called?
Top up.
Top up.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great day and have a top year.
Oh, yes!
That's what you missed. That's what
I knew that.
Yeah. Oh, of course. It all makes sense. Oh.
Bye.
See ya.
Goosebumps. Say goodbye, Wilson.
Goodbye.
I got an original Speed Racer. Is that what you're talking about?
That's actually cool.
I got an original
How much
Speed
is that?
Racer. I was a gift ages ago.
$5.
And I just remembered I found it because when I moved, I put it in a box. But I have an original Speed Racer minifig from one of the sets from like 2008.
I think I had the one of the white the Speed Racer car.
Yeah, Mark 5.
Yeah,
Or
I
the
think
Mark
it's
6.
definitely in boxes all over the place.
The Speed Racer. Because there's like 50 Speed Racer cars. Could have been Racer X's car too. Could have been any of the cars. I know a lot of stuff about little things. About little things that don't really matter. Like Speed Racer 2008 by the Wachowski sisters. For real? I can't find it. I've been searching high and low for that, and I can't find it. It's my favourite movie of all time.
Really?
You haven't seen it? Dude.
What? I watched it the other
Man.
week. It's on Stan or something.
Oh, it's incredible. It's got the best climax of any movie I've ever seen. I've ever seen. I will stand on business with that. You watch it, you'll be like, holy shit. I feel high. Oh my God, it's good.
I remember there's a pet monkey.
Yeah, Chim Chim.
And there's also that bit with the...
Played by two monkeys named Will and Kenzie. The two monkeys are named Will and Kenzie.
It's also the...
Doesn't someone get their hand eaten by a piranha?
yeah,
or
the
something?
piranha.
Yep, that's in the big truck.
And he also does
I can tell you beat by beat what happens in that movie.
Does the big jump.
He doesn't jump.
Yeah, he does a very funny big jump actually
Yeah.
out of the car. Straight out of the manga. We live? Call me talking about Speed
That's
Racer.
all going in.